So let's talk. Peyton Turner, man. I didn't remember him, but then I remembered him. If that makes sense. I remember he came out of Houston. Apparently, he missed a bunch of games in the NFL. He got drafted by the Saints, had a second chance with Dallas. I believe he had 2 sacks. He played double-digit games this year, or something like that, with Dallas this year. He had 2 sacks. Yeah, he had 2 sacks this year, man, and so I mean he been injured his whole career, and at the end of the day, dog, this signing, it ain't nothing against Peyton Turner, but Brad Holmes got a problem, bro. The problem is deeper than what we thought it was. He has a huge problem with, drafting injury-prone players, and I think enough of us didn't had enough of it. It's like, bro, since you got here. You and Dan Campbell got here, it's just been an influx of injuries. From year one, Tyrell Williams, the receiver, he played a few snaps and then it was a wrap. They reached an injury settlement agreement with him. You never seen him again in the very first game. People talking about how aggressive Dan Campbell is going to fourth. I have no issue with it most of the time. I really don't, because you can lose like a beta, you can win like an alpha. It don't matter. You can lose like an alpha, you can win like a beta. It legitimately, sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just playing good football. Like it or not, a football game, it doesn't come down to one play. It may seem like it, but it was so many plays before that you should have executed on, or that's what it is, right? So but this is disturbing, bro. Even if you're looking for guys like Damone Clark and the kid they got from Carolina, Warman, whatever, even if you're looking for these guys to be depth signings, okay, cool. But guess what? Our depth is tested every year. Our depth is tested every year. Seriously, our depth is tested every year. So when does it get to the point where we like, okay, our depth is being tested every year? Guys get injured on time. When do we start sounding about we're going to target guys with durability, bro? When are we going to be like, when we going to start, even the guys we get that start, the guys that backed them up, like, bro, you went from Marcus Davenport to worse than Marcus Davenport. And they both played for the Saints. Like, what? Like, at the end of the day, now you got to question them. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? And it's not like, okay, we have shown a system to rehabilitate. We've shown a system to rehabilitate our. We've shown a system to rehabilitate our, injury-prone players, and they came through our pipeline and they figured it out. They came through our pipeline and they got better. That ain't what's happened. These guys have stayed, and DJ Shark stayed injured. All these guys they picked up, man, stayed injured, man. What is, like, come on, man. We need to sit him on Dr. Phil's couch and ask him, what's the problem, bro? Like, we get it. You did the article where you're talking about, players that, because you got in a car accident and ended your career, you feel bad, blase this, blase. We get it. But at some point, you're literally becoming a liability to this team winning the championship, because you're going to get fragile players knowing that you're putting them in a high collision situation. We know NFL is a high collision sport. We get it. The NFL is a high collision sport. No doubt about it. But you put them in a situation where a coach, practice very, very physically, more physically than average in the NFL, and the injury rate has been super duper high. So why would you come in and put these guys Why would you come in and put these guys in this position? Why would you put these guys in this position? That's the number one question that a lot of guys have. Why are we putting our guys in this position? You know what I'm saying? That's already highly injured. We don't have a system in which we can keep these guys fresh. Why are you putting them in this position not to be successful? It's the $1 million question. Come on, Brad. And now you can make the case that he's becoming a huge liability. He's becoming a huge liability. You know, he's starting 3 guys. The kid from Carolina, the kid from Damone Clark from Houston, the kid from Carolina, and then 2 guys at the same position. DJ Wonnum had a huge injury issue, before he got to before he got to to Carolina. He had injury history. You know? And then you come here and you double back behind him and get Peyton Turner, another guy that's injured. Then you banking on Aiden Hutchinson, a guy who had 2 major injuries through his career, one in his collegiate career and one with the Lions, which he's 1 year removed from that major injury. Okay? Then, you get the kid from Boise State to back him up. He just tore his pectoral muscle. He's just like, well, come on, man, just think about the defensive end room right now. Hutch coming off major injury a couple years ago. DJ Wonnum major injury not too long ago. Peyton Turner now, who may or may not make the team, major injury. The kid from Boise State just came off a torn pec. Your whole defensive end unit is questionable when it comes to durability. Come on. Come on, man. Like, when is he gonna wake up and be like, okay, man, I got a problem. They need to help. I would have concerns too. I would be clashing with him if I was Dan Campbell too. Like, come on, bruh. Come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing, bruh? You're sabotaging us. You're legitimately sabotaging us. And, at the end of the day, a lot of y'all may be hoping that he get fired at some point. I don't really see that happening. Because what better can they do? But goddamn, you got one simple, quick fix problem to fix, and he just can't shake the injury bug lover. He can't just get dudes that's durable, bruh. I just don't understand how hard that is. So, if he's still digging in for injury-prone players to help to revive their career. And let me stop myself right there. And that was a growing belief. That was a growing belief that while he paid Kirby Joseph, knowing his knee was fucked up, he paid him off. That's why people believe that, because he just has an infatuation for dudes that's injured. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, like, bruh, like, what are you doing? That's $1 million question. Like, bruh, what are you doing? The reason we haven't captured the championship is just as simple as we haven't been healthy. We haven't been healthy because you put stock into guys that's not durable, and you put them in a high collision organization where they like to practice physical. They like to do unnecessary hitting in practice to prepare. And like I said, unnecessary because it translates to them being a more physical football team. That's why we sitting there, we just like, man, like, bro, what are you doing? We're like, literally like, bro, what? He ain't gonna never learn this lesson, bro. And the question is, if you get rid of him, where do you go from here? They're not gonna spend the money to lure a guy like Jeffrey Lurie or whatever, Howie Roseman, away from the Philadelphia Eagles. they ain't gonna get the Sam Presti of football, you know. So, you know, you ain't gonna demote him to just scouting. Like, bro got a real problem. But hey, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. Appreciate the love, support. Hit the link, you find me. Find me everywhere. X, Facebook, Kick, Instagram, the whole nine. Peace.